Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we talk about uh, lithium electrical vehicle and um, hydrogen like water, gasoline, and uh, is that possible? Okay, so first about uh, right now we have two controversial about. First, I will call that EV, like electrical car. Electrical. And one, we have gasoline. So I will compare gasoline and a electrical car. What's different in the benefits of them? So before we got need to understand about benefits of electrical vehicle. So the electrical vehicle, they work on the oxidation and reducing and oxidizing reaction. We can reducing and oxidizing. Okay, with the reducing, you know about uh, the key of the EV is lithium. Lithium. Lithium is the metal of the group one in the uh, periodic table. That's the group 1A. Yeah, okay, that's group 1A. Lithium berry will like uh, give the electrons to make they will donate electron and then become the electricity, and the electricity will have us like run the motion the rotor, and the rotor will make a motion and the car will move forward or backward. So this is the key to make power, and from power we got motion. So and how they work, like how we recharge the battery. So the lithium from uh, catalyze the lithium will become like lithium catalyze will come back to lithium when they receive the electron from the power source, and then come back to lithium metal. And that's how the lithium battery work to make the electricity and um, make a power in the electrical vehicle. However, you know, so they say the the lithium is from group 1A. And what is the group 1A uh, property? That is very strong, very strong reducing agents. And that means this one will very move forward to the right. So they will, like lithium metal, will always to want to donate electron to become lithium catalyte. However, because like uh, this one is have a delta X negative, very very negative, and that is if they negative, that will called exothermic. And with exothermic, they will release the heat. And when they release the heat, they will make fire, right? You hear a lot of news about electricals. He got fire when very hot condition. So this is a reason. And we cannot we cannot uh, shut off the fire that's made by the lithium. No, why? Because lithium is the metal group one, and they will react with water, very very reactive with water, and they will make lithium hydroxide with the hydrogen up, and and hydrogen can cause fire with oxygen and make H2Os, and this also delta X is lower than zero, and if delta X lower than zero, it's exothermic and they release heat. So that's why we cannot shut up the fire made by lithium with water, and that is the dangerous of the EV. However, that's have same like gasoline maybe safer, but however, like right now, a lot of electrical car they have very good heat distribution or cooler, so they will reduce this one, and usually maintain the your battery good and not overcharge the battery is 5, because when they in lithium cation lithium catalyte, they uh, they hard to cut fire than the lithium metal. So if you completely charge it, that means completely uh, to make the lithium back to the metal, and that's very very good for this reaction. And everything in the air have water, so that may be cause fire if you overcharge in 100%, and they can make the fire in the cold condition. Because in the cold condition, the water inside the battery will be become to liquid, and when they become to liquid, they will make that reaction happen. So if you have the electrical vehicle, please don't overcharge it. You will be safe. All right. So what is the benefit of the EV with the environment? That's the big question up there. Like um, the one like economies usually say that's the eco that's safe. They're green, very green. So the benefit of the vehicle, the actual vehicle is not from how green is it, because to make a lithium, you have to like separate, like isolate the little metal from many contamination. And with that, they will use something called electro ferrolysis. Electrophoresis, like you will separate this is positive charge, negative charge, and then uh, they separate lots of catalyte, aniline, and then they make very purified lithium. So that needs a lot of water. Yeah, actually, they need a lot of water, clean water. So uh, we although we have 70% on the earth is water. However, like clean water is only 1 to 3%. Because the most water in ocean, and the ocean is salt water. The salt water is not completely clean water or DI water, like deionized water. So the EV industrial will consume a lot of uh, water. However, I think the benefits only, the benefit only of the EVs is not very friendly with the environment. Not. I don't think EV friendly with the environment. However, not just uh, environment is pollution. We a lot of things can be pollution. About. I think everyone will knows that's a noise pollution in the big city. So if you have 100 vehicles run in one time, a lot of engine run in one time, they make induction or combine sound and make the noise very headed. And that not happen with the uh, electrical vehicle because the engine run by battery, and like your how when you run the PC, when you run something electrical, you don't hear a lot of noise. Okay, so that's the benefit of the electrical vehicle. That's the one thing I think that's very good. And I ride Tesla, so the benefit of my Tesla, I think that's the autopilot, because I don't buy Tesla because I support EV. Not. I buy Tesla because they have the autopilot and they can save my money for charging when I drive very far away. So because I don't have to use gasoline. So gasoline maybe if I use gasoline, I will depend on the gasoline price. However, I run the electrical car. I just dependent on the electric power source. So usually like the power charge, the rise run power charge, and they have many source to make a power of electrical power. So I will not depend on gasoline if it have or not. So the second one, everyone will know about gasoline. I I don't talk much about gasoline. I will compare the gasoline with the thing I think that's very, very, very hot right now. That's make water to be a gasoline. So the engine, how interest when the engine can run with water. Oh, that's maybe you don't need to depend on electrical power source. You don't need to depend on gasoline power source. So you don't care anything about the meteorites go water everywhere. So right. So that's look romance, right? But I will show you and don't trust this. So some people say they will, water from X to O. That means from one oxygen with two hydrogens, and this is very, very uh very, very electricity, like with oxygen, like negative, and hydrogens is positive. So their theories is make actual electrical ferrolysis, okay, to be hydrogen and oxygen. All right. So, however, do you know we have the engine run by water before? If you can guess, that's the steam. Yep, steam. Like water, it, that's the water in gas or back to liquid. We call that steam engine. Let's make the industrial century. Yeah, like we know, like in 1980, 80, they have train run by steam. Like we burn, we boiling the water, and the water will expose, and uh, they make the fog to lift up the um, big tongue, and the big tongue will make a motion, and then when they when they release to become gas, they lose energy, and when they lose energy, they start condensation, and they when they start condensation, they back to liquid, and that keeps circling, right? So that's very old type of the run, but however, they still use coal to burn. They will still use coal, gasoline to burn water. So I will say that's still use gasoline. Okay, so that's not what I mentioned about. The I mentioned about they got the idea to electric 46 to make hydrogen and oxygen. And when they make hydrogen and oxygen, they will burn it. They burn it with heat, and the heat will make that back to water, right? And no carbon here. No carbon here. It's clean for environment perfectly. However, that's never happened. So I will explain you why it never happened. First, talk about the possibility, like they call like spontaneous spontaneous. If you study about chemistry, they will have a word called spontaneous. Spontaneous. However, to make clear, that's impossible in normal condition, right? In normal condition, that's possible. That's happen in condition in normal condition. And I will show you why this one is non spontaneous. So that's impossible in normal condition. First, very easy. So hydrogen and oxygen to make water, E the delta X is lower than zero. That was that will happen. That will happen in normal condition with a little bit ignition, like just like gasoline. However, you know, first, what is the mass of the hydrogen? So what is the mass of the hydrogen? That's only 2, and oxygen 32, right? So nitrogen is 24, and the air is 29, because 70 to 90% in the air is nitrogen. So everything is lighter than 29 will go up. So that's why hydrogen usually in the up sky, and the oxygen is down here. That's why we can breathe oxygen and live day every day. So, but why it cannot be true? Can it be real? First, if you put the water into the whole thing, like say the positive charge, negative charge, and not just only water. We need, because water cannot transfer the electricity, because the water have the Ke14. So pK14 is very 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 small, and that cannot transfer the electron. So they need to insert any salt to make it possible, like sodium chloride. That's the oxygen. That's in the oxygen. And if you put everything in the system, like you will have the hydrogen in where negative charge, and we will have oxygen in where positive charge. And however, when you burn it, so what is power? Where power to make the electroferroset? So you need the electric water to you need the electricity to use it. So you need some battery. So that's just like the EV, like electrical vehicle. So you need electricity. So that failed, right? So you cannot put that system inside the engine. So we just use the hydrogen and make it to become liquid. You cannot just put the hydrogen inside the engine because they are the gas. And when you pump the gas, like propane, the gas you cooking, that's very very inconvenient, very inconvenient, very uncomfortable. That's hard to do because at least propane ECH38, so that's heavier than the air, so they will go down, and when they go down they can collect the gas and pump. However, the hydrogen very light, they will go up very fast because they lighter than the other air. So that not happen. That will not happen. To that will not happen to very like impossible to pump directly to your vehicle. So how we can pump easier, like we pump the gasoline, so we have to make that become liquid. And when we make that become liquid, you will need a lot of energy to keep it very cold, because to make the hydrogen that's nearly the Ke0. K0 mean that's 273 Celsius degree, very very cold. So that's impossible in the normal condition. That's not good for your money. You just waste your money just for run the fair, just to make that possible. So okay, and the other thing I will prove that is not true. So you know, usually gasoline we don't use the propane. I just told you about propane. Yeah, propane. We burn propane. We got like 3 CO2 H2O. So we have 3 molecule CO2, right? However, why we use the octane to be a carbon number, like octane number? You know about octane number like 93, 91. What I explained in the different videos. So why octane? Because octane they have 8, 9, 8, 16, 16, 9, 16, 18, right? Okay. So when you burn octane, you will make 8 molecular. You have molecule. You have a molecule CO2, and you have 4 molecule water. So that means 12. But with propane, you only have e. Oh, sorry. This one should be 9, and this one should be 17. This one is 4. That's 7. You see, to 1 we have 7. To 1 we have 17. So you know about compression and explosion, right? So you have one that's the compressed state, and then when you contain in one the big tongue and the here like very compressed, they will pump the molecule will push everything up. They call explosion. And because 1 to 7, like your your house have one cat only, and then that cat belong to 7 cat. And what they will do, they will move around your house, and they keep doing that. They explosion. That means explosion. They move spirals very fast. They spiral very fast. That's the explosion. So the condition to make explosion is compressed. That's why the renate very small. And when you totally renate, they make the big explosion because they compress the chemical inside, and they make more molecule, and the molecule push the other molecule, and they push it faster. They make an explosion. So that's why we don't use propane for engine, because that just make 7 molecule. Like your big tongue like this, 7 molecule up and down. So that's not much. So seven molecule. The big tongue like this, move up and down. That's icon explosion. So come back to water. Water, hydrogen, oxygen to make water. So you have one molecule and half molecule, right? Like if I multiple it to 2, so it's 1. I multiple it to 2. Hold a second. So it's the 2, 1, 2. So on the left side we have 3 molecule. I don't count about oxygen, because if you want to count oxygen, you have to just divide to 2. So you have 2 oxygen here, and you have 5.5 oxygen here. So this 3 to 7, and this like nearly 6.5 to 7. So this the like double, and this like triple, right? So that will make more explosion than the double, right? Triple, more than double, right? So however, this one is 3 molecule and come back to 2 molecule. So you see what happened? This reaction make compressive, not that's the compression, not explosion. This is explosion. This is compression. So how the chain can work when you compression? Like you have hydrogen, and then you make water and burn, that slow down. So how the piston motion? The piston cannot motion. You cannot make a power. So that's not possible. So, and when they back to hydrogen, like you will know the entropy. So entropy from like every reaction have 2 way, and when entropy make is like Entropy mean the entropy behind the chaos will be very chaos, like move around things. So because they from 3 to 2, the entropy will lower than 0. So this make everything like more order, not chaos. So the universe want everything be more chaos. So this will not happen in the normal condition. So this will happen in normal condition because, let's say, they have double the molecule, and this and the S will the entropy will larger than 0, and that's make more chaos. So from 1 to 7, that's make like more chaos. Like you have 1 children and you have 7 children, what you feel more hectic, more chaos. 7, right? So that's how the reaction happen. They will make everything more chaos, not order. So that's why water is not for the few in the near future. And I don't think that's will possible to make a in the future. I don't think even like in future, I don't think water can be a new fuel for engine. That's not an innovation. Like you say, like I use science to rule. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's the wrong way. That's the waste money. That's really very waste money. And you need something more economy and friendly with the environment. So to make hydrogen or to make electrophoresis, you have to have electrical power, like say, and like that's why you don't buy an EV, why you don't buy electrical vehicle. That is the same. You have to use electrical power to run the vehicle. So why not choose the electrical vehicle at the beginning? So when you want to fuel short-term fuel, you can use gasoline, and I think gasoline in this uh like in like currently I think gasoline with the octane right now is very very good. And I don't know how we can relate octane, because when you use cars, that's make like the car like carbon, right? So let's say like carbon to burn oxygen and make CO2. So we have 2 into 1. So it's not effectively, right? It's not effective. Like that's compressive too. And if you have something inside the carbon like CNX, I don't know, and they will make contaminate. And with the contaminate, you have to clean your engine with no carbon, a non compound, a non compound. Uh, and how you clean your engine with a non compound? You don't have any idea information about that, and it just make everything more terrible. So that's why this one octane that be the gasoline for like 40 years, I think, like maybe 40 years, maybe 60 years, maybe 100 years later, because I don't know why you had gas line when this can be back to oxygen with tree. Check make more tree, right? Or plant cell, algae, many things to reduce the CO2 in the atmosphere. And the atmosphere right now is a little bit higher uh, carbon dioxide. However, like the carbon dioxide make everything hotter. Uh, maybe, but maybe the energy like the enthalpy in the earth is up because the industrial activity, not just like engine, like everything right now. Because uh, you may be like gasoline vehicle, or you may be like electrical vehicle. Everything have the benefit of it all. Like gasoline, very convenient to recharge, refill your tank, and continue your trip. When electrical vehicle have the uh, risk of burning, I think everything have a risk of burning. We all always need to um, pay attention on the safety. So about safety, I think gasoline and the standard, I mean like standard uh, electrical vehicle, not the cheap one. The cheap one, I think a lot of complain about cheap one is they can burn because they not very close system. If that's a closed system, they hard to burn. They very hard to caught fire, because when you know where can caught fire, you will prevent that happen. Because before, the gasoline vehicle have a lot of burn before they happen too, because some like leaking, some engine leaking, and with the rich oxygen outside, and you have the very poor gasoline, and they make burn explosion. That happen, but very rare, right? And with the like standard electrical vehicle, that is the same. And 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 I'm not a big fan of the hybrid. I never choose a hybrid because you still burn gasoline. However, your lithium inside is small, and the compression of the lithium is not enough space for cooling, and they can make burn. Usually, like hybrid vehicle, I think in technically they may be caught fire easier than the electrical vehicle. So I'm not and say again, I'm not a big fan of the hybrid and gasoline or electrical only. Yep, I think this video will be like make some view about electricals and the gasoline vehicle, and any choice of your, I don't care. Totally, I don't care. That's your choice. Right? You you want the gasoline, just use gasoline. You want the electrical vehicle, just use the electrical vehicle. But this video I want to show is the benefit of the gasoline and the benefit of the uh, electrical, and how we can prevent the burning inside the electrical vehicle. And I rule that water is not the future uh, uh, fuel. It cannot be. It cannot be. That's not happen in normal condition. So, all right. So see you in the next video. Thank you.